What's up guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon coverage video. And today we have a load more Pokemon revealed. Like, what the hell is going on, Nintendo? What are you doing? We have I think like 4 new Pokemon to look over, as well as 2 we've seen already but with more detail, and then we got some extra features to go over as well. But we're just going to jump straight in. I'm not going to spend too much time introducing, but first up we have Mimikyu and the other bear Pokemon that were revealed in Korokoro, or leaked in Korokoro the other day, and then also there was like a little Japanese trailer as well. But we have some information. Its English name, Mimikyu, is called Mimikyu still. It's a disguised Pokemon, Ghost Fairy type, we knew that. Its ability is Disguise. Now, it's a new ability as we knew already, but the Disguise ability allows it to escape damage from an enemy's attack one time and then its appearance changes. So basically, it can survive one hit, the first hit is nothing, so I guess it's a good ability, I don't know, it depends on what this first move is. A lot, once people know, oh, it's got Disguise, why the hell would I attack it with a strong move the first time? It basically gives it one turn of, like, immortality, I suppose, unless it's a double battle or triple battle, or something along those lines, but that's pretty cool. But we're told about Mimikyu lives its life completely covered by its cloth and is always hidden, believe that anyone sees its true form will be stricken with mysterious illness. People are convinced you must never try to peek beneath its covering, but its health fails when it's bathed in the ray of the sun, The rising popularity of Pikachu-style merchandise around 20 years ago is the reason that Mimikyu makes itself look like Pikachu. In fact, this Pokemon is dreadfully lonely, and it thought it would be able to make friends with humans if it looked like Pikachu. So that's why it's Pikachu, basically. So then we have the next Pokemon, with a bear Pokemon, which is called Beware. So obviously Beware and Bear and stuff like that. It's the strong arm Pokemon, normal fighting type, we knew this already, 6 foot 11 inches, it's pretty tall, with Fluffy and Klutz as its abilities. Fluffy's new, and basically it halves the damage taken from attacks that make direct contact. I think I literally said that, didn't I? I literally said that in my video, I'll have to go and check. But in return, it also doubles the damage taken from fire type moves. So it's sort of like, you get this nice cool thing, basically 50% extra defense, but you take double the fire damage, so I guess that's a very interesting ability. What do we know about Beware? It acts in a friendly fashion, swinging its arms around, but you must never dare approach it carelessly. It's apparently a dangerous Pokemon, and it can, stuff we've heard about already. Some wild Beware use amazing martial arts moves. Apparently the Pokemon learn these moves by watching black belts practicing, etc, etc, etc. There's nothing too much extra there, just Beware, we've seen it before. So we have some new Pokemon. First up is Wimp Odd, the Turn-tail Pokemon, based on a cuttlefish, I would assume. That's my first sort of idea from it. It's a bug water type, so basically another Surskit, which I'm not too happy about, but it has a new ability called Wimp Out. Wimp Out basically means if the Pokemon's health points drops below half, it will run away or swap out for another Pokemon. So it's going to be quite hard to catch a Wimp Odd, because it's just going to run away, so you can't. Basically, you have to keep it above half health points to actually be able to catch it, I suppose, unless you have something along the lines of Arena Trap. But it could be interesting if it has an evolution in battle. It's like a free sort of switch out once you drop below a certain amount of health points. Who knows? What else to know about Wimp Odd? They're cowardly and wary of noises and sudden movements, etc, etc. They stench as top fluid. They spit out poisonous liquid apparently, so that's pretty interesting. And they eat and store anything they find fall on the ground. They also scavenge any garbage that's dropped in the sea. They sometimes carry pearls or other valuable items, so humans or Pokemon like Murkrow may target them. So that's pretty cool. Wimp Odd, basically wimpy and maybe like odd or pod, who knows. Next up we have a Boonsweet. Boonsweet. It's a bit spelled a bit weird, but it's the fruit Pokemon. It's a pure grass type, and its ability is Leaf Guard or Oblivious. Now both abilities we've seen before, so interesting there. It exudes a delicious smell. It's popular with Pokemon and people of the Alola region. Has a calming effect on humans, and it's sometimes swallowed whole by Pokemon drawn to its aroma. And there's nothing too much extra there, so that's a Boonsweet. I'm guessing it's going to have an evolution, which would be pretty cool. Then we have next up Comfey, which is the Posy Picker Pokemon. It's a pure fairy type. It's basically the cousin of Flabébé, because it's very small, just like Flabébé, and it has Flower Veil or Triage as its abilities. We know Flower Veil, but Triage is new. And with the Triage ability, this Pokemon's restorative moves gain the highest priority in battle. So any moves that restores health points or whatever will have will go first, basically, before quick attack, before extreme speed, before anything like that, I would assume, which is pretty good, pretty useful, especially if it's like something like Moonlight or whatever. Its evolutions or possible evolutions might be useful there. What else we know? Comfey picks flowers and carries them around. Makes a ring of blossoms and spreads oil from its body on it. Changes the flowers to emit a soothing fragrance. Yeah, This comfy also helps in the treatment of Pokemon and people at Pokemon centers and hospitals thanks to its aroma. When attacked by the Pokemon, it throws flowers at them. Aha! And we have one final new Pokemon today, which is called Mudsdale. Yes, it's a horse. It's the Draft Horse Pokemon, pure ground type. It's over 8 feet tall, and its abilities are Own Tempo or Stamina. We have seen Own Tempo before, but Stamina is new. With the new Stamina ability, Mudsdale's defense goes up by 1 when it's hit by an attack. That is really powerful. Any attack ever, at all, it goes up by when its defense goes up by 1. So this will be a really tanky defensive Pokemon. Mudsdale is also known for its powerful body as well as its emotional fortitude. It can defeat opponents with a single powerful blow. Its legs are coated in protective mud, and the weight of the coating increases the force of its kicks. It can carry on for 3 days running and 3 nights despite dragging loads of over 10 tons. Mudsdale is forbidden to run on some of Alola's public roads since the power of each hoof clop can dig out huge holes. So that is Mudsdale. I really like Mudsdale. It's a really interesting Pokemon. It's a horse, so we've never seen a real horse before. We had Ponyta and Rapidash, but they're fire horses, so it's a bit different. Though, we have 2 new feature-like things to do. One of them being Global Link. With the release of Pokemon Sun and Moon, Global Link will end its current, obviously, ORAS and X and Y stuff, and new functions in the update will allow you to enjoy Pokemon battles even more. We don't know too much about it, but we can find out some more later on. But we can also host our own friendly competitions. We'll be able to compete in official online competitions in the past, but this time a new friendly competition feature has been constructed that will allow you to become a competition host yourself and host original competitions where you set the regulations. So these regulations could be stuff like, what Pokemon can play, battles, timer, whatever. It's quite interesting. Online competitions as well as live competitions. The digital player ID that contains the regulations will be created as a QR code, and by scanning that QR code, participants will be able to battle. So we'll be able to have little mini tournaments at events, which would be pretty cool. And then the more interesting feature is hyper training. We had super training in Pokemon X and Y, but we have hyper training now in Sun and Moon. In Sun and Moon, you can draw forth a Pokemon's power to its utmost limit with hyper training. Basically, when Pokemon have grown to level 100, you can increase their individual strengths, and yes, that means individual values. So only when you're at level 100, so it is like a bit of worth. But you can do it, but it also involves bottle caps. Hyper training is done by Mr. Hyper, a man who loves to collect bottle caps. He can be found somewhere in the Alola region. If you bring in bottle caps, which you can obtain in Sun and Moon, you'll be able to improve your Pokemon's stats with hyper training. So I guess it's sort of similar to heart scales. Maybe you can earn them for doing certain things, I don't know. But the Magiana we get will be holding a bottle cap, so we'll be able to do the first hyper training when we get a Magiana. So I guess that's pretty cool and funky. There's nothing too extra to talk about here, just a few new Pokemon, some more details on ones we've already heard about, and obviously a couple new features. So let me know what you think about these new Pokemon down below, as well as the new abilities, because they are quite interesting, some of them. And also let me know what you think about hyper training and how popular you think it's going to be. Is it going to be cool to increase your Pokemon's individual values? Although I don't think it'll be a very common thing you can do. It's not like super training where you can do it whenever you want. You have to collect bottle caps, and I'm sure there'll be a nice fast trick to catching them or finding them at some point. Who knows? Let me know what you think about all this new stuff down below, guys, and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. But for now, this is going to be it for today. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.